Today, it's the ultimate Tommy's Margarita Showdown. I will be trying not one, not two, not three, but 4 margaritas with 4 different El Tesoro tequilas. These 4 tequilas will all be in a Tommy's Margarita, a pared down and simple margarita created by Julio Bermejo at Tommy's Mexican restaurant in San Francisco. The drink uses tequila, lime juice, and agave, and that's it. At Tommy's, they cut the agave nectar with equal parts water and then build the drink as a 2-1-1. So 2 parts tequila, 1 part lime, and 1 part agave syrup. Now this question has come up a lot in the last Tommy's video that I did. Do you need to cut the agave with water first, or can you just do that in the tin? And you do need to do it first, because if you don't, the fructose in the agave syrup can react with the malic acid in the lime juice to create something called malfructin, which is dangerous at high levels. I just made that up. Cut the agave before, cut it in the tin, don't cut it at all. Do whatever you want. The El Tesoro tequilas I will be sampling today are the Blanco, which is unaged, a Reposado, which is aged 9 to 11 months in ex-bourbon barrels, Añejo, aged 2 to 3 years in ex-bourbon barrels, and finally, the Extra Añejo, aged 4 to 5 years and also in ex-bourbon barrels. That's a lot of good stuff that I get to sample here today. Now, I've personally never had a good, high-quality Extra Añejo, so I'm excited for that. And while doing this blind is not really relevant, I think it would be fun for me at least to see if I could pick up the differences, especially between the Reposado and the Añejo. Maybe I can make a fool of myself and think the Extra Añejo is a Blanco. Who knows? Anything can happen. So let's get to making these Tommy's Margaritas. I'm going to make them exactly the same, except the only difference is going to be the tequila in each one of them. And then I'm serving them in these cool black glasses, so I can't really see the color. So there you go, 4 versions of Tommy's Margarita. Once I poured that first Blanco in, I thought I'm gonna be able to see the color difference here in the black glassware. But then once I did all 4, you can't really tell. The black just sucks out any color. So I can't tell. I'm still trying to not look. I have a little system in place so I can do this solo, put it on a turntable, then I put it down and I do a little, I don't know, hack game or whatever. But I don't know which one is which. As instructive as this is, I don't know. I think maybe ultimately it will be to tell you, in my opinion, if it's worth to spend, 3, 4, 5 times as much on an Extra Añejo margarita, because we're not tasting these neat. We're only tasting them in margaritas. So first up, we'll go with this one, and let you know which one I think it is after I go through them all first. My expectations are to be able to taste some of the vanilla notes, some of the oaky notes, the vanilla notes, the orange notes you get from an aged spirit. This one, I gotta do them all first, but I don't know if it had the bite and sharpness that I usually expect from a Blanco, but that's the only thing I can really tell you right now. Move on to the next one. Cheers. I think this is gonna be harder than I thought. Initially, it feels like there's maybe a less agave flavor coming through, but it doesn't have that what I'm searching for, like a big oaky vanilla. Moving on to this one. Cheers. It's very similar to the previous one. Maybe a touch less agave. I got to do all 4 and then come back through, so I might be saying things now that don't make sense later. All right, last one. Cheers. All right, initial reactions after going through all 4 are that these 3 feel related, and this one feels different. This one, I initially said it didn't have the big, I think the fresh agave cleanness that I'm familiar with. I think it does now after visiting these. These feel like somehow mellowed, which is the aging process. This one feels the sharpest. But I'm having a hard time at this moment to really tell you that they definitely are different, but it's just not so much like, oh, this one is significantly different than this one. And you would think that the Reposado, for me, the Reposado and the Extra Añejo would be significantly different, but they don't appear to be if I'm on the right track. But let's go back and start again from the beginning. I'm going to keep going through these and take my time and see if I can pick out any differences. Okay, I've had like half of each of these. I feel a little bit lost, so I'm kind of leading on my first impressions. This one had, to me, like, it was the first one I had, and that's always tough because it's like you register that one first, you come to a conclusion first. It's challenging when you do something like this, the first one you have. But this one had a like something I'm familiar with, like a sharpness to it, like more of a, cooked agave, like clean flavor. And this one has that as well. There's a little bit more, like on a couple sips I took, like a little bit of like a lingering burn, but not, I don't want to say like these tequila, they're harsh or anything, but if you're comparing it, this one had some of that, but it wasn't every sip I took. So this one, to me, I think I'm going to go with my gut and say it's the Blanco. And then this one would be the Reposado, but they're super close. Like the flavor to me is very similar. Like the agave comes through a lot, but they're just like slightly different, and it's hard to explain. This one just has a little bit more brightness, at least is what I picked up from it. So I cannot tell which one is the Extra Añejo. I cannot tell you. There's not one that really stands out, and I wouldn't be surprised if like this one was like more aged than I'm thinking it is, because they just seem so similar. This seems to have a little bit more of those, like a vanilla oakiness, but it's not a lot. It's not what you'd be familiar with if you drink longer aged bourbons. You drink a rum that's 12, 21 years old. Those things, you can pick up a lot of those characteristics. I don't get it as much here. It's very loose. None of them have lost their character of being a margarita, but I think I would prefer to drink this one over this one. So my guess would be that this is the Extra Añejo and that this is the Añejo. So we'll see. And I think that's the takeaway for me, is that I don't really need to spend money on an Extra Añejo tequila. Probably don't need to spend a lot of money on the Añejo, but it's a fun experiment to try. So let me try to remember where I'm at. I think this is the Blanco. I think this is Añejo. I think this is Extra Añejo, and I think this is the Reposado. So let's reveal them. All right, this is the Reposado. Okay. So hopefully this is the Blanco. All right, so I had these reversed, super close to me, unaged versus aged for like about a year. This one did have a little bit of a harshness, and I don't mean that like it was harsh. I just mean tasting something, like tasting a cocktail. You might be like, oh, that's smooth, right? That's so smooth. But then you taste it next to something else, like, oh, that wasn't smooth. That had a little bit of heat to it, a little bit of burn on the finish. And that would mean that these two are the Añejo, Extra Añejo. I'm already forgetting things, but I think I thought this was Extra, this was Añejo. But that's really, I mean, like on one or two tastings, like picking up a touch of that vanilla note here. But, I don't know what the difference is in price off the top of my head. If it's like $40, $50, I don't think it's really worth it. This was an expensive video to put together, but for me, it's pretty revealing because I've never done this experiment before. So this one, I'm saying is the Añejo. It is the Añejo and the Extra Añejo, which means this one is the most aged. And, you know, in a margarita, I'm thinking about it now. I think that these, like this would probably be something I'd want to have served up, so I can really make sure that the ice and the water dilution's not playing a factor over the course of me drinking it when you're spending that kind of money on a margarita. Like I said, all of these are good. All taste like margaritas. The differences, though, are so subtle that, is it worth your money to go buy, in Añejo or an Extra Añejo to make a margarita? I don't think so. But maybe having like a Blanco and an Añejo to do a margarita, do you need to fill in the gaps everywhere else? I don't think so. So there you go, the ultimate Tommy's Margarita. I don't think I really got to what's the ultimate Tommy's Margarita. The ultimate one is the one that you like the most. That's all that matters. But I would say that I wouldn't have been surprised if I got each and every one of these incorrect. There really wasn't something that popped out as like, that has to be a certain one. There's 4. I had 4 guesses. Odds were I was going to get 1 or 2 of them correct. But yeah, I think the Blanco is like the one I'm going to keep buying. And I was at my Costco a couple days ago and they had the Blanco and the Reposado, which usually they don't have the Blanco. But El Tesoro, great tequilas all around. You see the Blanco out there, that'd be the one that I would recommend picking up. And then if you want to do an experiment like this, then you're going to need all of them and it's going to cost you several $100s. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like below. Consider subscribing. Actually, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. This is one of the most expensive videos I've done. I'm not going to recoup my cost in Google advertising on this video. So make sure that you share it with everyone that you know and give it a like below. And if you want to support this channel more, you can check out my Patreon page where we have a Discord where you can talk about cocktails and syrup adjusting and bricks and slushies and all that kind of stuff with people that are just like you. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one.